Welcome to the Loveland Report Lone Ranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland, Central Florida's best real estate planner for 35 years. Alongside Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger. We're going to talk mortgage news. We're going to talk real estate news. We appreciate you tuning in for all of your real estate and mortgage news. And we're going to go through that today. I want to dive into how bad was 2025 compared to 2024, what's going to happen in 2026. And then we're going to talk about what's your plan. When do you need to talk to me if you're thinking about becoming a landlord, you're thinking about buying, you're thinking about selling? When should you call me? We're going to talk about that. What do you got, Bruce?
Well, I want to talk about, first of all, homestead exemption, because anybody that bought a home this year that occupies it as a primary residence, you need to get your homestead exemption filed. I had a client that called me and they hadn't filed for 2 years and they're wondering why their payments kept going up and up and up, and they didn't file for homestead exemption. If you do not know how to file for homestead exemption, go to the county website and in the county that you purchased in, and they will have clear instructions on what you need to provide to them to be able to prove that you're homesteading that property. You don't want to miss out on that because it locks in your taxes. Your taxes can only go up a maximum of 3%. Where if you don't file it, they treat it as an investment property and your taxes
also jack. And this is the time of year too, it will jack up your escrow account. And get some problems there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then people become behind, and then they're spreading the back due taxes out. Then the new ones come. It's crazy. So you don't want to do that. Second thing is bridge loans. A lot of people that may be in those golden handcuffs that we call them. They can't, right? Or maybe they don't want to sell before they buy, but they really need the equity from that home. I've got a bridge loan that is unbelievable. Now, here's the thing about bridge loans. Most of them, they don't work, because people have to qualify for the house they want to buy.
All three loans, yeah.
They have to qualify for the current payment if they got one on their current house, and the bridge money. Well, that's 3 loans that you got to qualify for. No wonder nobody does them. My bridge loan is different, and this is great. If you're a builder, pay attention, because this can help you. Real estate agents, pay attention. With my bridge loan, I will not include their current house payment or the taxes and insurance on it. I won't include the money that I give them for their bridge money. I'll only use their debt ratio based on the subject property and their regular debts for the bridge loan. That makes a huge difference when you need that equity, but you don't want to sell. And then we can recast it and we can reduce the principal after you've sold your home. So I've got a way to do that. And then I want to talk about a builder flex. If you're a builder out there and you can't compete with the DR Hortons and the Trinities and the Lennars because they're all doing these builder flex loans, you can call me. I have programs that can help you with that. So I think it's really important that if you are in the craft of selling real estate or building homes, you better have all the tools in your toolbox, and I can help you with all those tools. So then later in the show, I want to talk about the Fed cut on Wednesday, how that's going to impact the market, what the market's been doing, what's affecting interest rates right now, what direction do we think things are going to go in. So these are all great topics. And I think that now is the time that people need to really, like you mentioned it right off the gate. What are you doing? What's your game plan? Are you sitting on the sidelines waiting for life to pass you by? Or do you have a game plan to get into real estate and start investing in real estate?
So if somebody at the beginning of the year was saying, I'm not buying till rates go back to 4%,
well, then
they're
you'll
still
never
sitting
buy.
there. And
just keep being a renter.
They're still paying rent. Yep.
Yeah. And you know what? Some people, I'm going to tell you something. I'd like to think that everybody gets it, but some people don't get it. They just don't get it, Cleve.
And I will take your rent check. I will gladly collect your rent check.
As a matter of fact, all of you folks out there that want to be landlords and want to invest in real estate, there is a huge piece of the population that doesn't get it. Mm-hmm. And they are BTRs. You know what a BTR is?
No.
Born to rent.
Okay.
So these people are going to rent. They'll always come up with an excuse. They've always had a problem. They are victims. They'll always be renters. They can't get out of the cycle. They'll find every reason they can not to make life more enjoyable and have the things that you want. They are the ones that are in their own way. And those are the ones that we're going to keep as renters because they're not going to change.
And because I want to jumping into why 24, what happened in 25 compared to 24? We were
Yeah.
it's probably the slowest real estate year in about 15 years. But it's still a decent market. I mean, homes were still selling. They weren't languishing, prices weren't falling overall for the year. And when the numbers come in, the median price is probably up 2% over last year.
Yes.
Average price is probably up about 3 or 4% over
Yes.
last year. So if you were an owner, you did not spend 30 grand on rent. If you did buy and you built some equity and you're not out 30 grand of rent. And if you're an owner, you aren't hurting. And I had a lot of people, I converted.
Unless you bought a year or a year and a half
Yeah,
ago.
and you had to sell. Yeah. But if I had several owners, I thought that wanted to move up, wanted a different house or smaller, bigger, whatever it was, I converted them to landlords.
Sure.
So that golden handcuffs, that 3%, they had a 3% mortgage. Several of them did. One had no mortgage. I converted them to landlords that talking about their cash position, said, hey, here's the numbers. Go talk. Here's what you'll make renting. Here's what you'll make selling. I do this all the time. I said, go talk to your financial planner, talk to your family about it, ask me more questions. And we figured out that they were going to make more money as landlords and they're okay with it.
Well, of course, you know what? You can't expect to have a great deal of financial success if you don't have money in the market. And a lot of folks, they look at it and they go, well, I got a 401k. Okay. You and your wife, you and your husband make, say, 120 grand a year combined income.
Yep.
Let's just say that that's where you are.
Yep.
Okay. If you add $500,000 in your 401k, that's only going to make you $25,000 a year. 500 grand, unless you start really peeling away at the principal, and then it won't make you that much.
Yeah.
So what are you doing to set yourself up financially? And I, unfortunately, in my business, see so many people that just procrastinate so long, Cleve, that I can't fix them. It's too late in the game.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Yep.
So start early.
Because I think this is going to be the year. I think that we're going to come in with numbers. We'll have November's numbers next month, but I think there'll only be like 2 months this year where 2025 sales beat 2024, which is what we want. 2026 is supposed to be ahead of 2025. So that's the good news. Rates are lower. They used to be 7.5, and we were talking about 7s most of the beginning of the year, and now they're down. So that's good.
Phone number, big boy.
407-352-8118 for your real estate plan, or cleveloveland.com.
Yep. Or call the Lennar Ranger, CrossCountry Mortgage, 35 years in the mortgage business right here in your backyard. I am one of the top 1% producers in the entire country, and I'm here to help you. And I can be reached. You can call me now at 407-250-9144. Purchase, refinance, new construction, home equity line of credit, first-time home buyer, Hometown Heroes still has money. You name it. Reverse mortgages, bridge loans, you name it, I got it. And here's the best thing: no overlays, and I don't broker. No brokering.
Yep.
Brokering is out of control. They don't have any control over what happens with your transaction. And yet the average person is duped by a broker every day. I see it all the time.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they don't get communication, they go, oh my God, what's happening? Listen, you can call me. If I will tell you within a very short period of time whether that transaction is going to work for you or not. So pick up the phone and give me a call, 407-250-9144, or WeBringYouHome.com.
That's right. The rest of the country is talking about how next year, Realtor.com saying that prices are probably going to go, median price probably going to go down 1%. We didn't see that in Central Florida.
No.
I really think we'll see that go up next year as our activity picks up.
I think that if we can even keep rates in the low 6s or get them into the high 5s, then we're going to start to see more business coming back. But I've heard different stories, because you hear one economist says the economy is going to start picking up or after the first quarter of next year. Well, that's a good time to buy now then, because you look for these sales, you look for a deal. Right now, you can get a deal. People aren't going to get a deal once interest rates drop, not when it comes to buying a home, because sellers won't need to. And listen, look at all the people, including the listeners right now, that have been sitting on the fence for the last 3 years, wanting to buy, but didn't, because you came up with a reason as to why you shouldn't buy. Now is the time to jump in the market, and we can do that. Let's get you in January and get the job done so you're now a homeowner. It doesn't pay to be a renter. There's no such thing as a rich renter.
You're right. You're right. So, all right. You have questions about what to do for your 2025, 2026. You're starting your real estate plan. What does that look like? Do you want a bigger house? Do you want a smaller house? You need to get online, get your application in with Bruce, figure out where you stand. I've got a standing application in, Bruce. I know I'm approved.
Absolutely.
I can just do a DSCR. Those are a lot easier. I can do a DSCR just about instantly. I've got a full doc loan. This is the time of year people are talking to their accountant. So before you finalize that tax return and you're thinking about buying a house, call Bruce.
Absolutely. And keep in mind, I've got great self-employed programs for all you folks that have those creative accountants and you write everything off. I've got the program for you. I'm doing a ton of these DSCRs for investors right now. I've got a guy, I've done 3 homes for him in the last 3 months. He just keeps bringing me more and more homes. He's investing like crazy on these DSCRs and he's doing very well. He's finding some deals, getting in it, and they're not all positive cash flow. They're not. Some of them are like an equal cash flow to the payment.
But rents should go up every year, just about. The rents were flat for about the past 2 years. All the properties we manage have been raising rents slightly this year and haven't had too much squealing. I don't want to lose a good tenant over raising rent, but you always want rents increasing, even on your family members. Let me say that again. Even on your family members. First of all, don't rent to family members. You'll go broke. But even if they're in there, you keep raising their rent. It's an investment. You want it to pay for your retirement, not be a charitable organization.
Well, what do you think about the whole DeSantis thing on the property taxes being
I'm looking forward to that. So that'll end up on our ballot, right? That's from what I saw.
Yeah, but we have to have a super vote?
Super majority.
Super
Well,
majority.
we've got that in our, and thank goodness for Florida. We've got that in the legislature. We got a Republican super majority.
Yeah, but it was really hard. I mean, even in the marijuana thing didn't pass. I thought that would have passed for
I think
sure.
this is a little different. I think it's a little different.
Well, because there's a lot of skepticism about it. And here's the thing. I like things, but sometimes you can come up with a great idea, but if you don't have the plan, and here's the problem with DeSantis right now, he does not have the plan as to where the money's going to be made up yet. So they're looking at possibly taxing tourism. So that's a great idea. However, you can't make it so then the tourism all of a sudden says, I'm not going to Florida. I'm going to go to New York City. I'm going to go to Spain.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Mexico City. I'm going to go to Costa Rica instead of Florida.
On the
we
other
can't
side
make
of that,
it so it's difficult.
The whole point behind this is you can own your home, but you still never own your home having to pay taxes on it every year.
Well,
and they're not talking about eliminating all of it because there's local schools and street lights and things like that got to be paid for through the taxes. But that's from what I've seen, what I heard on the one article I saw.
Want to eliminate
60%.
the ad valorem tax, except for the school ad valorem tax.
Yep.
And they would eliminate everything but that, which would drop your taxes to probably pretty close to 50%.
And this is just for primary occupants.
Just for primary occupants.
That's
now,
the thing that makes sense.
Ultimately do all of them, but which would be great for landlords. It'd be great for tenants.
How different a politician is that to actually think about doing something like this?
I think it's creative, and I think that it's positive, Cleve, that these things are on the table, but they aren't solved yet. But you know what? You have to come up with the idea and then IDS it, identify, discuss, and solve it, which is what they're really doing right now. So all the naysayers that are going, you can't do that. You can't do that. Well, a lot of people have been told they couldn't do things that ended up being done. Listen, we got to cut for a break here. So give out your number.
Right, it's 407-352-8118 or cleveloveland.com.
Or Bruce Woodburn, the Lennar Ranger, CrossCountry Mortgage, 407-250-9144, or webringyouhome.com. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about what the Fed did on Wednesday, how that's going to impact you, and what other obstacles may be in our way to see lower interest rates in the future. Don't go anywhere. Cleve and I will be back in 5 minutes.